Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here, and welcome to episode 2 of my Feed the Beast Let's Play. I haven't really done too much since last episode, although it looks like I've done a whole lot. Mostly what I've done is been collecting resources and been trying to decide exactly what I want to do with this thing and what kind of resources I want to use. And as you can see, I've decided on, well, probably to my own detriment, to go with brick. Needless to say, that's going to take a lot of time to collect. I spent maybe 5 minutes collecting up enough clay to make these bricks, and now I'm pretty much out of coal, so I am probably biting off far more than I should be. But you know what? Go big or go home, I say. You can see I pretty much have just been sort of playing around with the sort of design I want to go with, and sort of outlining what I want to do, and then went ahead and pretty much did sort of the foundation of what we're going to be building. But obviously, as you can see, a lot of this is just going to take some gathering up of tons and tons of resources. So I'm not going to film every minute of that. I don't think me farming up clay from now until doomsday is going to be terribly exciting. But I just wanted to sort of show you guys what I've been sort of working on, what I've done so far. It's really not a whole lot, like I said, just sort of laying out the framework for what I want to do. And I think it's going to be plenty of room. And I have definitely have in mind ways I can sort of expand on it and make it this big factory thing here. I've also decided ultimately on what I'm going to do about my roofing. I've decided after being a bit of a nerd and looking up some old sort of turn of the century factory designs, that a lot of them had flat ceilings, so I'm probably going to go with flat ceiling, although hopefully with the amount of work I'm putting into all of this, it'll still look cool, not lazy. So there's going to be lots of glass going into this as well. Hopefully that will save me some bricks. But yeah, so very, very ambitious plan, I think. And so right now I'm pretty much just going to be going out and farming up resources. So I will catch you guys back as soon as I've got a ton so I can actually start doing some building and you can watch some of that. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I've been sort of wandering around and collecting up some resources, particularly things like leather and sugar canes. Now, I'm going to need a couple of those, but what I want to do is I was having a bit of a hard time finding particularly cows and these sugar canes, so I'll have a more sort of complicated system to grow things like sugar canes in the future, but right now I pretty much just want to make sure that I have a decent supply of them as I move ahead here. So I'll just throw them down there by the little pond bank so they can grow. But the whole reason why I was looking for cows and sugar canes is this. Well, first of all, let's make us some paper. Get some paper. And then we're going to combine 3 pieces of paper and a piece of leather to make a book. We're actually going to need one more of those. The whole point of this is because I really need sand, and the area that I'm in currently isn't really close to a desert, so I'm going to need to find, and farming up a little bit of sand that's sitting by these sort of lakes and rivers really isn't cutting it for what I want to do next, which is go ahead and build the Railcraft coke oven like I was talking about earlier. So to do that I need more sand, and to get more sand, well, I need to make these books. Now, I'm gonna have to, there was one thing I forgot, so I'm gonna have to be back with a feather from a chicken. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. It took me quite a little while to get my hands on a couple of these feathers. Hopefully they'll do me for what I want to do at the moment. So first of all, we're going to be playing around with a little bit of Mystcraft. So first thing we're going to need is a writing desk, which is that right there. 5 planks of wood, any kind, a feather, and an ink sac. So, bam, writing desk. Okay. Um, Also, I had been waffling back and forth about this earlier about whether or not I was going to cheat in a notebook. I did. I felt like it was better to have all the writing symbols in so that I can really sort of play with them and show them to you guys and not waste a whole lot of time clogging up my computer with a bunch of useless ages. So, so we got our writing desk, and we're going to make 2 things. First of all, we want to probably go to a spot where we're pretty happy returning to when we're jumping between worlds. And yeah, I think right here in front of the factory to be is a good place. So we're going to take one of our books and just plop it in our crafting, and you'll see that'll give us a linking book. Now the linking book, you can see it now says linking book overworld. It will pretty much link back to this spot I'm standing in right now in the overworld. Now the other thing I want to make is a book with a feather will give you a descriptive book. Now these are the books that let you actually create other worlds. And to get started with that, what we're going to do is, I don't really think we have a ton of room inside this little Testificate Village hut we sort of took over, so we'll just put it right here for now, and once we get settled into the more permanent home, we can do that. So it's pretty easy. You plunk it down just like a bed. You want to make sure that you're facing the direction it is going to, take up the 2 blocks. And then you can, in order to write a book, you can take your notebook, put it over here in the left slot. You can see all of these weird symbols. I'll explain a little bit what each of these symbols are, but you can see there's also a bunch of tabs. These are the things that will generate our new and special age. So first thing we're going to do is, remember I was saying that I was having some problems getting my hands on sand, and it turns out I have enough sand to do the coke oven that I wanted, but I figured we would need more sand anyway. So let's go ahead and call this, I don't know, Red Desert. So you can name it whatever you want. I like to name them either weird things or very descriptive as to what they are, so I know what they are. So first of all, I like to start with, well, we know this is going to be a desert, and I'm going to make sure that this is only a desert. So I will go through here. You can see this includes all of these standard biomes as well as all the Biomes XL biomes. So there's quite a few, lots of fun ones, particularly things like Hell, which is pretty much your nether biome. There's some other cool ones in here. Let's see here. Savannah is pretty neat. Let's see. We got Wastelands. Those are also very cool. Actually, why don't I go ahead and, yeah, let's do this. Desert, Wasteland. I'm going to make this one very deserty. It's probably going to want one more, so let's see here. For what I want to do, let's go Savannah. That's cool. Okay. Then the second tab are our biome controllers. These tell us how many biomes they're going to be in the world and sort of what they're going to do, and each of them do something different. Obviously, checkerboard biomes will create a checkerboard sort of world. It demands exactly 2 biomes, so if you don't put 2 biomes in, if you only put 1, it will fill in stuff that you don't put in, but there's a chance that if you don't match your biome controller properly, you'll get something called instability, which you'll probably see a little bit of. There's a lot of new instability mechanics, way more than I've even found yet, so you'll just have to sort of see what happens and go from there. So we got huge biomes. Obviously that'll make the biomes really, really big. We got large biomes, step down, medium biomes. So we got pretty much those 3 are the same thing, except you step down one at a time. Native biome controller will pretty much generate a world much like the overworld. Single biome is just like what it says. It will generate just a single biome. So again, if you have more than 1 biome in your writing over here, it'll cause instability in small biomes and lastly tiny biomes. So we're gonna let's do medium biomes. That seems right. We're there's bright, dark, and standard lighting. I'm gonna go with a bright age because I kind of like the bright ages. Nice for YouTube. And here we got pretty much your sky controllers. Lots of different colored stuff you can do. These do sort of stack, so you can make, if you can obviously combine sort of a blue sky with red sky, you'll get sort of a purplish sky. And it does sort of gradient, so you can put multiples of each of these in, and it will work. So I'm going to go with red sky and red fog, because that sounds good. And we're going to go with let's go with I'm not really sure what kind of color clouds I want to do. Can I do black clouds? Yeah, black clouds. That sounds cool. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, we're getting attacked because it's nighttime. So let's deal with that real quick, because that is not a good thing. Jeez. Where did that zombie go? That's incredibly strange. Okay, whatever. Alright, can we sleep now? Yes. Alright, ooh, we're really low on health. There we go. Hopefully that'll start getting our health back. Okay. So, back to what I was doing before I was so rudely interrupted. Make sure there's zombies smacking on doors somewhere. This is just a little terrifying. Get the spider angry at us. Here we go. Alright, well, whatever it was, it stopped, so whatever. Alright, so where were we? We were on the sky. So we got red sky, red fog, black clouds. We probably need a sunset of some kind. Let's go with a white sunset. That sounds interesting. Okay, so here we got the terrain features. These are, you can pretty much put as many of these in as you want. There's lots of interesting ones. Caves, crystals, dungeons, glowstone crystals, which are cool. I'll put those in. We got huge trees, lakes, lava lakes, shore, mine shafts, obelisks. Yeah, why not? It's a desert, right? Ravines, star fissure, which is very cool. It's if you ever forget your overworld linking book, if you find a star fissure in another world, that will get you back to the overworld. Those two ways, if you go to another world, are the only ways to get back. So be very careful that when you make a new world, either you generate a star fissure or you make sure you have your linking book so you can get back. So strongholds, villages, and wooden tendrils. I think the glowstone crystals, lava lakes, and obelisks. That's enough. So then we got our terrain generation. These are basically different types of terrain you can generate. We got Cave World, which will generate a world much like the Nether. You'll be underground somewhere. Flat, which is pretty much like the when you make a new world and you set it to flat, it works like that. Standard Terrain, which will generate terrain like the overworld. And Void, which will generate no terrain. The only thing it'll generate is a little stone platform for you to stand on when you get into the zone. So Void Ages are pretty cool. You can do lots of neat things with them, and particularly with like mob spawners and that thing. So we might do something a little bit like that later. So we got Time Passage. You can either do Eternal Day, Eternal Dusk, Eternal Night. Those are pretty standard. You got time controllers. You can either make the time go very fast, normal time, or slow time. We're going to do Eternal Day because I like Eternal Day. We got weather controllers. You can see lots of different types of weather. I'm going to go with no weather. I mean, it's a desert, so it's not going to matter. Okay, world modifiers. Here is where you can end up getting a lot of instability. I don't think I'm going to be putting any of these in, but I would like to point out that there are probably more of these planned in the future, but some of them, like spontaneous explosions, if you put them in manually, will lower the risk of getting word failure, getting instability. And meteors, I believe, do the same thing. And dense ores create a lot of instability, so we're not going to do that. I don't think we're going to put any of those in. So I think we're happy with our world the way it is. So next thing we want to do is grab some wood. We're going to make ourselves a pair of these. Going to need some sticks. Put them in there like that. Oh, wait, the recipe for these changed, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Book stand, let's see. Okay, yeah, we need less wood. Okay. So there we go. Book stand. 1, 2. So we're going to put the first one down here. Probably somewhere nearby. How about right here? And onto that book stand, we'll put our descriptive book. And you can see we have our descriptive book. We also have our linking book. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, I'm a little worried about taking a bunch of stuff into another world that could potentially kill us. So let's be a little careful with that. I don't want to lose a bunch of stuff just because I was too lazy to go put it away. So we got stone, cobble. Okay, that looks good. Put away some of these other random bits and bobs we'd picked up. And that will go in there. And I believe we should be good to go now. So yeah, let's go. Hopefully it will not generate too much instability. Let's check it out. A little bit of a load. And ooh, it happened to generate what looks like a sky world. That's cool. There is a ton of creepers over there. So before we get spotted by the creepers, we'll put down our link book stand and our overworld book. That way we can get back to the overworld. Wow, this is... okay, it looks like it also generated some wooden tendrils. Yeah, those are kind of cool. Wow, that's just a little terrifying. I didn't really want a world like that, but oh, yeah, it looks like we did get a little bit of instability. Gave us a slowness effect, so obviously you can see I'm moving slower. I don't really like that, but you know, this world essentially is just a means for me to get sand, so cool. So there you go. That's how you create Mystcraft ages. You can see you can pretty much create any kind of world you want, and you can do anything you want in it. It's just a whole nother world for you. So, like I said, I just wanted to collect a little bit of sand. You can see now I have a good access for some glowstone crystals other than the nether. I don't really understand why there are all these monsters around. Pretty sure I made it Eternal Day, yeah. So the slowness is a little weird, so we're going to go hop right back to the overworld, and you can see it put me right back, and I don't have my book because I left it there in the other world, and that's where it'll stay. So that's Mystcraft. That's pretty much the gist of it. There's some other cool things in it that I'll show you later, but yeah, that was that. So that done, let's go ahead and do that coke oven I was talking about. Now, I did have one of these coke oven bricks that I made a little bit earlier just to make sure I remembered the recipe. So, like I said, I need 27 of them in total, and I only have one, so hopefully I did the math correct here when I did this. Yes, I did. Cool, so 26 more, put our bricks in, and we get coke oven bricks, and that'll give us 27. So let me show you how these work. They are pretty cool. These are how all the Railcraft machines work, which I think is really neat. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it... For now, we're just going to put it here, but I have sort of an idea for later as I sort of expand my base here, so that'll probably be much, much later. But so, like I said, pretty easy to make. And just for, I don't know, just for sake of my aesthetic sense, we're going to start building it one block down. So you can see I got a 3x3 set up here, and I will just coke oven bricks. Oh wait, if I recall, it doesn't have to be a solid block. I think this might need a hole in the center. I'm about to find out if I made one too many. Okay, you ready? And I did make one too many, but the coke oven is made. So there you go. Now you can see there are little windows on it, and you can see an interface. So that's pretty much it. That's how all the Railcraft machines are made. They're all really cool sort of block designs. Now you can see I can put, if I can find some coal. I don't know if I have any at the moment. Well, I was going to show you. Let me be right back with some coal, and I'll show you how the coke oven works. Alright, I am back. I just went over, actually just over beyond to that hill over there, and there's a neat cave there that I really didn't have to go very far in at all. I really want to explore it a little further a little later, but I wanted to show you the coke oven, so we're going to do that. So it's pretty easy. You just take your coal, slap it in there, and it'll start going. And it takes a really long time. This is why I said it's a really good idea to get these things started early, because it takes a lot of time to run. You can see just in that time we just got a sliver. But what's cool is, like I said, it'll generate a coal coke here, and it'll also generate some creosote oil, which is used for some other Railcraft things that are really, really cool. So now that we got that going, we're pretty much set to start our Railcraft stuff pretty early. That shouldn't be too far off, but right now what I want to do is just go back to getting some more bricks, and I'm thinking I might do some mining as soon as I've made a bunch of bricks. But here we go. We'll go right over here. Let's throw our spare coke oven brick away. We don't need that. Take some of our stuff out here. So I managed to find a little bit of copper and tin while I was over there. I feel like I had more bricks, but apparently not. We're just going to make us some bricks here. Not too difficult. And we'll go ahead and add them to our building's facade, since we can. Might as well. We made them. Not sure where I want to start windows here. Maybe, yeah. Okay, we'll do 2 layers of bricks before we start doing any kind of windows. But the other thing we're going to do is basically this is me trying to decide exactly how I want to do this. If I want to do a window immediately here, or do I want to do, yeah, we'll do it like that. That's fine. That'll probably look okay. I can change it later when I actually get around to putting the windows in, but we'll put bricks on these corner blocks so that it looks right the way that I want it to. Whoop. Did not mean to do that. Pick that back up. So yeah, you can pretty much sort of see where I'm going with this. You can also see that I clearly need many more bricks. This is going to be something that's probably not done for a while, so probably what'll end up happening is I'll probably spend some time, again off camera at some point, just working my way through and getting all the raw materials, but I'm sort of getting it slowly. Clay is not extremely common, particularly when I'm nowhere near a marsh biome. Might be something to do with my Mystcraft would probably be a little helpful in this endeavor, but yeah, you can see where I'm going and what I'm trying to do. I think it's cool. You guys can tell me whether or not you think it's cool or stupid. I don't know. I think it's cool. So there we go. We got a bit of coal coke here, you can see, and we got 500 creosote oil. So it didn't take too long to make it, but you can definitely tell it takes longer than, like a regular furnace. So now you can see anything that can burn coal can burn coal coke. So we're gonna let's put a stack of that clay in there. Oh, furnace, and you'll see it'll burn. And it's a little more efficient than coal, basically. So it's worthwhile taking this extra step and keeping this stocked with coal so you can make coal coke. So why don't I clip the video here while I figure out exactly what I want to do next, now that I've sort of got my 2 major goals done for the time being. I got my Mystcraft age for the purpose of collecting sand. I might end up scrapping that and making a new one at some point to try to maybe get one that's doesn't have that slowness effect. I don't know why it's been doing that. I've been writing the worlds correctly as far as I understand it, but they're still generating instability, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I might have to check in on XCompWiz's site to see if there's any mention of it. So yeah. So why don't I decide on what I want to do next? Thinking maybe I might go do some mining. That actually sounds like a good idea since we need so much more coal to, and we got a lot of clay right now, but we don't really have the coal or the means to cook it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go off camera and do some mining. So I'll be back. So like I said, I was going to go do some mining, and in the process of mining, look what I found. A dungeon. Slap down some torches to keep these spiders from flying out at us, so we can whack the thing and kill it. Alright, let's see what we got. Some interesting stuff. Some basic things. Also, logic matrix programmer. I believe this is part of factorization. So, not a whole lot of mod stuff in these chests, but a couple cool pieces. Never a bad thing, finding dungeons. So, my inventory is pretty full at this point, so why don't I meet you guys back upstairs. Be right back. Alright, made it back upstairs, and I got up here and it was night, so I just slept through the night. I wanted to show you guys some of the neat stuff I got. I mean, inventory is obviously pretty full, so I'll just slowly work my way through it by putting it all away. So we got some cocoa beans, some wheat from this chest. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where we're keeping everything here. Obviously, we'll drop off this cobble and this random digging up junk. Okay. You can see we got a couple good ores. So we got some slime balls, some gunpowder, a bunch of string and arrows and bones, and from all the crap we were fighting down there. We got a couple saddles. Probably just hurl those in there. Our logic matrix programmer in there, along with our bucket. Let's see what else we got here. Chest card as well. Anything else is pretty much metals or ores. Put the zombie flesh in there. Let's see here. What else? There was something else I wanted to put over here. Appetite. Got a ton of that stuff. That's of course from forestry. So let's put away some of our ores here. Copper, of course, and tin, of course. We also found a little bit of silver. That's useful for a whole lot of things. Also found some lead, which is part of factorization, and a ton of iron. So pretty good there. Drop off the random ingots we picked up. So we've got a good supply of those things. Drop off the flint as well. Pull our stuff we were cooking up out of there. We've got a decent amount of supplies now. Check out our coal coke oven. That's looking pretty good. No, you know what? Let's see. 64 minus 24 is 40. So we'll just let that continue on. It's got a full stack in there, so we've still got a lot of work to do cooking up, getting us some more bricks. So let's see here. Put that in there, put that there. That's pretty much what's holding us back right now, is trying to finish our house, which, granted, under normal Let's Play situations, this probably would have been done a while ago, but like I said, I wanted to sort of challenge myself, go with something kind of cool, so let me just go ahead and get these bricks made, and we'll figure out exactly what we want to do next. So, be right back. Alright, so we're pretty much closing in on about the 30-minute mark, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down this brick that I've got in my hands, 32 pieces I just made. We'll go ahead and put those down, and then that's probably about where we'll call it, so let's hopefully not waste a bunch of brick by throwing it around randomly. That's our first good idea. Make ourselves a gravel ladder. It's always good use for gravel. I really don't use gravel a whole lot in my builds, so usually just use it to climb up on. Alright, so that's probably about where we should call this episode. Hopefully next episode I'll be able to get this thing done to the point where we can put a roof on it and start moving on to some of our mod stuff, because I'd really like to get into the early industrial craft stuff, which means we'll have to go fetch some rubber and start building ourselves some machines to generate power with. So look forward to that. But that'll have to come next episode, like I said. For now, this is the end of episode 2 of DarkDragoon's FTB Let's Play. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.